Welcome to Orem, Utah, a beautiful place to live and raise a family. I chose to follow the City of Orem government this term as my corporate communicator because I love it here and because I don't love some of the things that are happening here. Hi, my name is Carradine Bowen. I'm a resident of the City of Orem and have lived here for 16 years. I'm raising 3 children here, I work here, and I love it here. But I don't always agree with how the City of Orem is being communicated to. Over the course of this term, I've learned a lot about how corporate communicators speak to their stakeholders. I believe that the City of Orem treats their stakeholders very well. However, they may not have the number one stakeholder in mind when they do a lot of their communication. The stakeholder I believe they speak to the most is the business owners in Orem and their employees. But I believe the residents are the most important stakeholders. But that doesn't mean that I don't love the way things are run in the City of Orem. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I have a very special connection to the spokesman for the City of Orem, and I'd like to introduce you to him. In the course of interviewing the spokesman of the City of Orem, I learned exactly how much he has to do. He's in charge of a large group of people who are the people who do communicate to the members of the city. And he also is the person who handles all of the communication to media, social media, and all the stakeholders in the city. The spokesman for the City of Orem is Deputy City Manager Stephen Downs, who is also my brother-in-law. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Stephen, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions tonight, if you don't mind.
Of course.
What is your favorite part about your job?
Definitely the interaction with citizens. Well, sometimes that's the, brings upon a lot of frustration as there's, challenges that maybe we can't solve as quick as they'd like. It's been an opportunity to build relationships with people of all different types of backgrounds and diverse socioeconomic situations, and it's been really rewarding to get to know so many people that do so much good in their neighborhoods and in their community.
What would you say is the ways that you communicate, and perhaps the biggest method of communication you have?
We do communicate a lot of in our old-fashioned type ways, open houses and opportunities for people to just come out to meetings. But we've found through survey research and just our own outcomes of different types of communication that electronic communication is what people prefer. People have busy lives, they have things going on with their own lives, their kids, that it's hard for them to make it out to meetings, but they have opinions and they have thoughts on how they'd like to see the community improve. And so as we reach to them through social media, through emailed newsletters, through surveys, we find those people that wouldn't show up at an open house communicating with us and sharing really valuable ideas.
Do you ever feel like because people are hiding behind a computer, they say things to you that they wouldn't say if they were with you in person?
Yeah, you see that a lot. And, not just here in Orem. That's social media has kind of created this barrier where people feel like they can just throw stones because they won't ever have to address the person that they're hitting. But in Orem is no different. There's a lot of personal attacks that get made against members of our city council, staff, or other neighbors or people in the community that truly usually aren't founded claims, but they're easy to make sitting behind a computer in your living room.
And finally, who do you feel are the stakeholders of the city that you're appealing to the most in your communication?
Yeah, I definitely think it's members of our community. It's the people that live here that have invested their own personal money to buy homes here and fix up homes, and then people that have started and operate businesses in this community. Those are the people that pay the taxes, and that is a wide spectrum. That's from the young student that's going to college to the senior retired living widow or widower, that all ends of the spectrum. And so we've always considered ourselves family, Family City USA, and family is the whole spectrum. It's from the person beginning out hoping to have a family one day, and those that are in the tail end of their time here on earth who've raised a family and chosen to make Orem their home.
Well, Stephen, as the spokesman for the city and as my brother-in-law, I want to thank you for what you do. It's a tough job. I've learned a lot about what you've done in the course of some of the papers that I've written and the things that I've learned, because corporate communication, which is the title of my class is way more involved than just talking to people. I've learned a lot about that. So I want to thank you for what you do. I know how difficult it is. And for sharing your family with your job. I know that you do that a lot.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to just conclude really quickly, but thanks for talking to me.
Yep. Thank you.
So that was our Deputy City Manager, Stephen Downs, who is the spokesman for the City of Orem. And as he said, they definitely do represent the residents and the business owners of this city who may not always mesh. It may not always be that they want the exact same things. But as a corporate communicator, he has to appeal to everyone and please everyone at the same time. And I have learned how difficult of a job that is as I've learned more about communicating. This has been a really fun class for me to be able to see how it is to be a communicator. It's not something I intend to do with my life. I'm a teacher and I intend to stay as a teacher. I'm a communicator though, and so I totally get the idea of having to appeal to a lot of different people who may not always like what you have to say. Thank you and have a great evening.